Greetings from the far side of the galaxy, I'm Fury, your host the most, here with another new kind of video. Short story long, semester's ending, school sucks, so you're getting something that's easy to make. Next week will probably be something easy too, but whatevs, we got a video to do. The gist is that I go over all the new guys who are added thanks to the Chapter 14 prologue and stuffs. Because the more I talk, the more I have to edit, let's just dive right on in with our first guy, Kirito. Hang on, I need to find the party popper sound effect. Yay, he finally has a unit after 6 years, woo. That being said, I think the unit is fine enough, but to make it short, he's a glass cannon. You either keep him in the front and risk him dying or move him to the back where he kills your team. Decisions. Either way, I really like what Life Wonders is doing with Kirito from a writing standpoint. He's the biggest direct foil to the protagonist, kind of like their rival. The MC is all around, while Kirito is none. The MC's power comes from their bonds, while Kirito gets stronger by getting rid of them. Once Tokyo becomes a battle zone, the MC is on the cusp of losing, but Kirito only stands to gain from that. He's one of the few characters to be officially listed as disliking the protagonist. If this boy isn't the final boss at the end of everything, I'm gonna be kind of disappointed. I just want one character who unquestionably hates the protagonist and just doesn't repair the relationship with him or something. It'd just make for a nice change of pace, you know? I also mentioned this before, but Kirito is actually based on Jack the Ripper, that old-timey prostitute murderer. One thing I do find interesting is the theater line City of Fog from his research file. Not only is it an apt description of England, but I find it weird that they aren't naming the world. Could this theater line City of Fog be relevant either in the main story or an event one day? Maybe, maybe not, I don't really know. Another line from his research file that struck my fancy was this one here. Maybe his knife can reach the audience watching the stage. This just in, Housamo's new feature, Life Under fucking murders you. Or Kirito has some beef with the Game Masters. Could be either one. Also, I just said fuck, so this video totally isn't getting monetization, so I'm just gonna point you to my Patreon and Ko-fi. Next up is the new guy with presumably big feet, we never actually get to see them, Bigfoot. I really like this unit. He's a 5-star centered around the break debuff, which locks movement and reduces defense. His playstyle seems to be generic, with no real strategy I can see other than point him at things and shoot. His resistance to charm is nice, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is the first unit that can actually give advantages. He gives break to allies in one square, which gives him a lot of versatility since it means he can make break teams on the fly. I'm not sure I even need to go over who he's based on. I mean, it's Bigfoot, dude. In game, I knew he'd be evil the moment he revealed he was a reserve world representative. The only one with a world rep title to retain any rights is Shinya, and Shinya specifically. His sacred artifact's ability is to make him a cryptid, basically becoming impossible to follow or find. On top of that, he's also a shaman, meaning he can accept souls into his body and assume their roles. I would have thought you need an artifact to do that, but I guess not. Its real strength is that it can evidently imitate an all-knowing, almighty being, aka King Solomon. Notably, I want to flip to his 5-star research file and take a look at this line. Within Bigfoot's body is the coexisting memories of another entertainer. It's my theory that the other memories Bigfoot has belong to the entertainer's guildmaster. It's essentially like Diavolo from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. The entertainer's guildmaster doesn't want to be known, and by using Bigfoot's artifact and hiding inside them, they're able to ensure their identity remains a secret. The question is, who is the entertainer's guildmaster? I bet it's Hatsune Miku. And moving on from the dudes that actually have units, let's go to the cameos in the Chapter 14 prologue. I'll probably make the other half of this video when the new semester banner comes out, but for now, let's go over their inspirations. The first guy to make a cameo in the Chapter 14 prologue is the new Hakenshi, Nobumichi. Since he's one of the Hakenshi, we already know that he's based on Inukai Genpachi Nobumichi from the book The Akenden. His excerpt from Wikipedia is as follows. The stereotypical, crazed enforcer of the group, he is introduced as an inmate of the Shogun's prison, most likely jailed for his uncontrollable behavior or perhaps just his sharp tongue. He's allowed a chance to win back his original position if he is successful in killing Moritaka. That part about him being told to kill Moritaka does make me worried for what's gonna happen to the little pupper in chapter 14. And one final note, I like that his sword looks like a baton. It fits the whole comp aesthetic. Now we just need to see him beat a protester with it. The next new guy is Amdusius. We know that he's from Gehenna and that he used to be Satan's court musician. From what we get in the chapter 14 prologue, it looks like he's trying to join the entertainers cause he wants to be an idol. I could see him and Linan working very well together, assuming Linan is still a part of the entertainers and not being hunted down like a dog for her betrayal. Inspiration-wise, he's another guy in the same box as a few others, being based on a demon from the Ars Goetia. Amdusius was a demon of song, known to play the cacophonous music that would constantly echo through hell. Also, he was supposed to be a unicorn, not a dogacorn? I don't know, that word's hard, we'll figure it out later. After that is Pazuzu, the Final Fantasy boss and Shin Megami Tensei demon. Deadass, I was working on a script for SMT demons that should be in Housamo, only for this guy to be announced the next day. I swear, someone at Life Wonders is stalking me. Time for me to pull out that party popper again. Reoccurring jokes are funny. Because Pazuzu is our second transient from Babylon. We even know what guild he's a part of, and it's the Ueno Beast Tamers. The guild works on the basis of partnering beasts, those with problematic powers, with tamers, their natural counters. We don't know if he's a beast or a tamer, but I lean towards the latter. That's because Pazuzu's based on the Mesopotamian god, Pazuzu. Shocker, I know. Despite being an evil god of destructive western winds, Pazuzu was known to ward off other evil deities. And it's supposed to be that his face is so grotesque it, scared off everything away, so Housamo was kind of off base, making him a pretty boy. It'd be pretty fitting for the guy who wards off evil to be a tamer, so I'm assuming the next guy is our beast, Haster. He's from the world of the Old Ones and another member of the Beast Tamers. We don't know much about him, but call me crazy, I think this guy is definitely the beast. Shit, was that racist? That aside, he's based on a deity from the Cthulhu mythos of the same name, Haster, the King in Yellow. The entire concept behind the deity is that he'd spread his dominion over people's mind using a mimetic image. Judging from that and his design, I'm guessing his powers work like Ellie's. Spreading a literal thought virus to control people, and Pazuzu tames him by being able to ward away and undo its effects. Either way, very neat, much like. And the next guy is also from the Beast Tamers, and finally, we get to see their guildmaster. His name is Yuma, and his sacred artifact turns him into a furry. No, really, that's what it does. I figure there's a reference to some myth or story somewhere, but we really don't know a damn thing about him. Up next is the 2-for-1 special, Beowulf and Worm. I'm pretty sure that they're both game masters and that they've been given the mission to put down the player to stop the entertainers and the rule makers. Full disclosure, Worm may not be their actual name, but one of those stand-ins used for people we don't know. Think of worms as a kind of serpentine super dragon. Fafnir, Nidhogg, and Jormungandr were all worms from Norse mythology. I'm really interested in this guy because Housamo has a habit of making their worms really important to the plot. It's Jormungandr that makes up the walls around Tokyo, and the protagonist's original form may have been a worm. It does make sense for a worm to be palling around with Beowulf since they're both from Germanic folklore. I imagine most of you know who Beowulf is since you got the assigned reading, but I'll elaborate anyways. Basically, he's a hero who slays the Grendel's mom, and the dragon, but dies to the dragon. Overly sarcastic productions ain't got shit on me. Again, I just said bad words, so Ko-fi and Patreon, remember, supporters get access to a Patreon-only Discord servers and early viewing to my videos. I do like what they did with him though, since he's a hero, they gave him a protagonist personality. Rough and tumble with a spunky personality. In another game, we'd probably be playing as him. Since that's just about every new guy in the Chapter 14 prologue, I suppose we get to our Patreon shoutouts. For our 3 stars, we have special thanks to 87 Werehog, Deku, and Zoro Rachau. For 4 stars, we have Mickey Moon, who knows that the devil does not jest. And for our Super D-Tuber special 5-star shoutouts, we have Unknown RC, who's ready to face the Crooked Man. Then Vanilla Flower, who has the Seed of Destruction. And Poor Mage, who's in Strange Places. And finally, Mahagasaur, who's ready to face the Wild Hunt. And now we're at the end of the video. Thank you for watching, please like and subscribe, and as always, this is your host Fury signing out.